Hey indie filmmakers, Griffin here. Today I want to see if you can tell the difference between a $700 microphone and a $200 microphone. But first, let's open up my mic drawer for a very quick history of my microphones. When I first got into dual system audio in 2010 using an audio recorder, this was my first shotgun mic, the Azden SGM-1X. But a few years later, when I compared it to the more expensive Rode NTG3, I was blown away by the quality difference. So I started using this as my primary shotgun mic. Side note, I saved $200 by buying this mic on eBay. But I barely use this expensive microphone in the field because it requires phantom power. The cheaper Rode NTG2 has a built-in battery, so I can plug it right into the camera. I also tried the Rode VideoMic Go, which is designed for on-camera use, but I found this shock mount was too weak for my shooting style. For especially noisy environments, I use a wired Sony Lavalier mic, which is a big improvement over my first Lavalier mic. But I still prefer, for most interviews, the sound of a shotgun mic over a lav. The Blue Baby Bottle is the studio microphone I use for my weekly podcast. And most recently, Azden sent me their new SGM-250CX. They thought it would go well with my XLR adapter for the Panasonic GH5. It's compact, has a short 12-inch XLR cable built in, plus a small shock mount with a cold shoe adapter. So instead of mounting my larger Rode NTG3, I took this Azden to Alaska to shoot my film about wildlife photographer Daniel J. Cox. And because I shot some of these interviews with a wide 8 to 18mm lens, I actually left the mic on the camera for some of these in-the-field interviews.
I'm using the GH5 with a 12 to 60mm and a GH5 with a 100 to 400.
When I got home, I did side-by-side tests against all my mics. And this new Azden definitely outperforms my first Azden mic. In fact, compared to my most expensive mic, the Rode NTG3, I'm not even sure I can tell the difference. Do you even know which of these two microphones you are hearing right now? I'll switch right now from one mystery mic to the other mystery mic. And can you tell the difference? Can you tell which microphone you're hearing now? All right, so right now we're hearing the Azden SGM-250CX, and right now we are hearing the Rode NTG3. So tell me, with your headphones on, can you hear the difference between these two mics? All right, I'm rolling audio, you rolling video? But what happens in a loud trade show environment? You would expect with a longer shotgun microphone like the Rode NTG3 that it would reject more sound coming in from the sides. So let's find out. Here's the Azden SGM-250CX. Here's the Rode NTG3. I'm convinced that for my voice and the interviews and natural sound I capture for documentaries, these mics yield the same results. For many of you, the biggest downside of this mic is that there's no battery inside. It requires phantom power. So if you're not interested in an audio recorder or an XLR adapter, I asked Azden if they had a version that plugs right into the camera. For the same price, the SMX15 uses the same microphone element as the 250CX, but with an 1/8" plug. The Azden SMX30 also shares the same microphone element and 1/8" plug, in addition to a stereo mic. You switch between the two mic options. The only problem with an 1/8" cable is it can't reject hum from a power source. But an XLR cable is designed to eliminate that kind of interference. So as you can see, I would be very happy with either of these microphones, and that brings up an important point. There is a law of diminishing returns when it comes to the money you spend on this kind of stuff. It's always good to just get a microphone nice and close, and they will all sound pretty good. So today was all about showing you microphones, but if you missed my last video about hiding microphones in plain sight, you can click right here to watch. You can also find all the mics I mentioned today in the video description. Thanks for watching.